everybody. Welcome to the Doug Pagitt radio show. I am the sidekick, John Music, and I'm okay. And then also we're joined in the studio by Ian, the fill-in. How are you, sir?
Good. How was your week? Well, I'm sure if Doug was here, he would find something to complain about that. And my week was good. Nothing real exciting happened. How about your week, Tony?
Well, it was a pretty big week, John.
Okay.
On Friday, I put my dissertation in the mail.
So what does that mean?
I mean, what's crazy is that I started this process in 2003, moving out to Princeton to begin, and through fits and starts, it has hung over my head for 8 years.
Oh my!
It's weird to wake up in the morning and not think there's this big, massive project that I have to finish that looms over me. I wake up in the morning and I don't know what to do. Without that anxiety, that latent anxiety all the time. So I put it in the mail. They'll get it in New Jersey tomorrow, and then I'll go out 2 weeks from tomorrow and sit in front of a phalanx of professors.
I was impressed by that.
At Princeton, and they will ask me tough questions about it, and then presumably pass me.
Has anybody ever failed?
I believe it. I heard one time of a person who failed, but the fact that my dissertation advisor has scheduled a party at her house for me that evening, I think I kind of got it in the can.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
thinking, and they just want me out of their hair. They do not want. You're supposed to finish it in 6 years. I'm on year 8.
Oh, okay.
They don't want me around for year 9, which is the absolute maximum that they'll allow you. 3 extensions, and I've already gotten 2.
So when you get this degree, your doctorate, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'll get a doctorate.
So then, what do you do with that? I mean,
it makes for great fish wrapping.
Yes.
It means, I don't know. For a lot of people, it would mean you can publish books and you can get a job teaching at a grad school or something like that. But
you did this just for your own personal edification, though, right?
Well, primarily, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to I'm not going to get a big pay raise or anything from social phonics as a result of completing it. But it'll be nice to close a chapter in my life and have that behind me. And it might open some more doors for me, but mainly it's I remember sitting down during the application process and having the head of the PhD studies committee ask me, like, you already write books about this stuff. That's why people get PhDs. And I basically said to her, like, isn't it okay just to get a PhD because you want to learn more about theology?
And he's like, we've never heard of that.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, it was a great process, but it was writing a dissertation it's basically comparable to writing 5 50-page term papers. I mean, that's what I compare it to, because the 5 chapters are each about 50 pages. And
brutal.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. I mean, it's a difficult process. I'm glad to have it behind me.
Well, it's great to have you.
Good to be here.
As the host of the show. Doug, the regular host, is...
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah. He's written a book or 2. He doesn't have his doctorate.
No, definitely not.
And he's out of the country in Guatemala helping to build homes for people there. And,
right on, Doug Pagitt.
Yeah.
Right on.
And with a group from his church. So.
And I'm honored to be the first ever guest host.
Yes.
Because in the past, when he's been out of town, he's recorded them, pre-recorded them, and then I think you usually have to come in here and kind of run, do little segues or whatever.
Right.
But I'm honored that I'm the first ever guest host, and then Carla, who's often played second fiddle to me, is the second ever. Let's make that clear, and I hope you say that in her introduction.
Sure.
Next week, the second ever guest host at Doug Pagitt Radio will be Carla Barnhill.
Well, and she does not have her doctorate either.
No. Master's degree, I think.
Yeah.
barely got it too.
So just squeak by, right? So we have a kind of a special we have a special host today, but we have a special theme going on in the show.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but I thought this would be a great opportunity, being that I was guest hosting, to spend the entire 2 hours basically talking about one topic and one book. And as you well know, it's a book and a topic that's become very hot in the Christian realm of religion in America over the last month. And that's a book called Love Wins by a guy named Rob Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Rob actually went to the same seminary as me. We may have overlapped by a year, but I didn't know him. But Rob,
you didn't ever like play basketball against him?
We may have played intramural football actually,
okay.
And I should probably ask him that, because I know he played a lot of intramural sports at seminary. You don't really think of him like that now when you see him all in black you don't think of him like playing flag football.
Yeah.
But that's good. We should probably ask him.
I can't imagine seminarians playing flag football anyway.
Well, it's very a holy version of flag football.
Okay.
So Rob then went on to plant a church in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it was a church that met with an incredible amount of success right out of the gates.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very innovative church leader in America. He's very well known in the Christian realm. I mean, there are probably some listeners who haven't heard of him, but he's a very he's very prolific author. He's written 4 or 5 books. He has a church which is attended by maybe 10,000 people on Sunday that meets in a former like Cub Foods basically in the round, and but he's probably most known for his public speaking, both on video, very innovative videos that he's put out over the years.
Yeah.
And he tours the country and speaks to sold-out audiences. And in fact, one of the things I wanted to get ready for listeners and people watching online and stuff is that tomorrow night he's here in the Twin Cities speaking at Wayzata Community Church in Wayzata, and doors open at 6, and he goes on at 7. I'm quite sure it's going to fill. It's free, non-ticketed event, but I'm sure it's going to sell out, as they say. Because just last week he was in Nashville and 1,800 people came out to hear him.
So what's happening with him recently that's caused him to become?
He wrote this book, which those of you on Ustream can see me holding it up right now, called Love Wins, a book about heaven, hell, and the fate of every person who ever lived. And Rob, he wrote this book. It's interesting because last fall sometime, Zondervan, a Christian publishing house owned by HarperCollins, dropped Rob as an author, even though they had a 2-book deal with him. They've recently said in a couple different press releases, we never got the chance to publish this book, and if we would have seen the manuscript, we would not have published it.
Oh, I see.
So they broke their contract with Rob under kind of secretive circumstances. And then this book was purchased, the proposal, and maybe it was done, was purchased by Harper One, which is the religion imprint, the broader trade book religion imprint of HarperCollins. The book, goes to print or whatever, and some chapters get leaked. They get posted, a review of those leaked chapters gets posted on a blog that's very popular among the conservative reformed group. People in the Twin Cities will know John Piper.
Mm-hmm.
And his publishing house, Crossway, and they run a blog called the Gospel Coalition, and we're going to have one of the guys on later in the second hour, a guy named Michael Horton, who's from that same kind of tribe, the Reformed tribe. Well, so there's a post that goes up on this website, and Justin Taylor writes it, former Twin Cities resident who now lives in Chicago and works for this publishing house. John Piper, very famous pastor here in the Twin Cities.
Sure, and elsewhere.
And elsewhere, Bethlehem Baptist Church. He tweets a 3-word tweet on a Saturday. It says, "Farewell, Rob Bell," and then it links to this review. Well, the controversy is any number of things. One, that John Piper just basically bids adieu to another evangelical leader, Rob Bell. Secondly, that Justin Taylor wrote this review of the book and basically says Rob Bell is a universalist, even though Justin had not read the book.
Yeah.
That's very controversial. John Piper says farewell, Rob Bell, without reading the book and only on the basis of a blog post by another guy.
Yeah.
That blows up over the weekend. Hashtag Rob Bell becomes a Twitter trending topic over that weekend. That's in I don't know, late February. Harper One, the publisher, rushes the book to press, and they push up by 2 weeks the release date from March 31st to March 15th, and it becomes just huge. Rob's on CNN, and he gets interviewed very hard by Martin Bashir on MSNBC. Gives him a really tough interview. Turns out later, people find out Martin Bashir goes to Tim Keller's church in New York City, which is another one of this reformed tribe of churches, and these are the people who are really coming out against Rob. So it's become this really big deal. So that's why I thought, let's spend the whole 2 hours on this. Coming up after the break, we've got Keith DeRose, a philosopher from Yale University who's a Christian Universalist. And in the second hour, we've got Mike Horton, who's a conservative reformed theologian, and Rob Bell himself.
So stay tuned. That'll be coming up after the break, and you're listening to the Doug Pagitt Radio Show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.